Most recently, Congressman Chris Carney voted against cap and trade, which is unlike Chris Carney administration, or against the will of the Democratic Party or agenda. And when you look at Chris Carney's voting record, the only time he crosses the Democrats is when he can. That is, I can't find anything where he actually voted against his party and that vote actually meant anything. In other words, that his vote interrupted what his party wanted to do. Now, there might be some minuscule things where he was allowed to do that, but I haven't seen anything really substantial that he did that. He fooled me on the bailout packages. He voted against the bailouts and was really adamant about it. But the fact of the matter is, the bailout packages passed. So here we have him on the cap and trade. He voted against it, but Senator Specter and Senator Casey are going to vote for it if they have a chance to vote on it, and which makes me wonder, why won't Congressman Carney debate Senator Casey and Senator Specter as to why he thinks we shouldn't have cap and trade, and let him actually do some damage to the Democrats if he really feels so strongly about this issue. If he really feels that this is a bad thing for the country, which he said is going to cost jobs and things. Apparently, Casey and Carney don't think it's going to cost jobs, and they're not worried about it. So what I'd like to do is see if we can have a open debate between the senators of our state, Turncoat Specter and Robert Casey, because this would be a very interesting dialogue, I think. The whole point of cap and trade is really a joke, in the sense they want to tax our emissions and then send this money overseas to some international group and do nothing for the United States. My point would be, I'm not for this, but let's say we do tax the evil pollution people, which means that the electricity that we buy, the price of that's going to go up. Price of everything, probably the price on trucking, so our food prices will go up. The point of the matter is, it's one thing to do that and use that money for programs in the United States to make us more environmentally clean. It's another thing to send this money overseas and let it go through bankers and Al Gore and have them make all kinds of money on moving this money. I really think that'd be interesting to see if everybody being so lockstep. I mean, step on this thing, even in Obama, if this money was just going to be used to fund and create jobs in the United States. But no, all we're doing is creating federal jobs with more pensions. In the Daily Review in Toronto, they're talking about trying to keep up with the pensions that we have to pay. And what are we doing? We're hiring more people who are going to have pensions. That's what the government wants to do. It's pensions this, pensions that. And I'm not going to begrudge you make a contract with someone, you try to honor that contract. But you go into more contracts that bankrupt you further. In any event, I think this would be a very interesting thing, and I really would ask you to ask Carney to debate Specter and Casey on this cap and trade. Let's have an open discussion on this, right, Congressman Carney? And find out what you're really made out of. Find out if you're really against cap and trade, because if you were, you'd be willing to debate Specter and Casey, and you'd be willing to condemn them when they make speeches for this, as far as pushing something that you say you're totally against. If you're totally against something, you should be totally against it and willing to fight it down to the mat. Do you understand that, Congressman Carney? Anyhow, enough of this. It's Sunday. I have to get going here. So have a wonderful day. Be good. God bless America.